Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make great videos for views, subscribers, followers, whatever you want. So the first step, I would say, if you have a laptop or computer, I would recommend using that, because when you screen record or download the clips that you're going to need, you're only screen recording or downloading that footage in 720p. When you have a computer or a PC like I do, you're able to record at 1080p 60, which is 1080 pixels and 60 FPS. That's one of the things I would recommend. It's not a mandatory, it's just a great option that you should have. Second is your editing website. I use CapCut. I know a lot of people use Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, all that stuff, but those are, you have to pay for that. CapCut is a free video editor, and is what I use. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to make great videos here. So we can have my most recent video here, Austin Reeves. But we're going to create a new project. So first, what we're going to do, you're going to open up CapCut just like this. Here you have your media and audio over here, your player right here, and then some details just about the video. And you have all of your stuff right here that you can use, like audio, text, transitions, all that stuff. So you're going to import whatever you recorded. I recorded some Jordan Poole highlights. You're going to drag and drop, or just however you can do that, just put it right into here. Make sure to mute it. I've seen a lot of edits where they have the audio down below, but they still have the original audio playing. You do not want this audio playing, because it's just going to take away the fact that there's music in the background, and kind of is going to distract the viewers from watching the video. So I have my Jordan Poole videos right here. I like to zoom in just so I can get some extra clarity on what I'm going to use. So we're going to just take this intro, maybe back it up just a tad bit. Yep, play it from right there. Split it. To split, all you want to do is just use this and then split. It splits the entire video into 2 clips, and you can delete whatever you don't want. So you'll have this, but we don't want it to be that long. You want it like a shorter intro, so I want it right before he turns his head. So we're going to play it from right here. Split that, delete the half that we don't want, just like this. You always want to start out your videos with something like a player's face, like I'm doing right now with Jordan Poole. And you just want, let me see if I can make this bigger. There we go. You just want a beginning clip to let your viewers know what they're about to watch. And you can use this really far away footage right here, but you don't want to only use that. You want to find clips that have replays from all the different angles of the cameras. Like right here is what I like to use, and all the other camera angles that the NBA provides you with, like right here. But I'm going to speed run through this and just show you guys what I did. Okay, so what I've done so far, guys, is we just have our intro. We have our beginning clip right here, Jordan Poole's face, just right over here. And then you want to have a little clip right here. And then you want to, I just went back to this just because this is too slow of a clip to keep like the entire clip in. You don't want only slow clips. You want some of the fast clips, and I recommend using the zoomed out angle of the game or the highlight you're using. So we'll add audio in a minute. So it's looking like this so far. So audio, what I'm going to use, I always have a rough time pronouncing this. I think it's Cuando se la tamor. I don't know how to pronounce this. You don't want to mute this, though. This is your music. You want to keep that. So audio is in here. And that's good, because basically you want your clips to be on beat with the song you've chosen. So all these little spikes and kind of look like jumps over here is all of the beats you can hear. So you want your video to kind of be in beat with that. you can see that the end of this third clip right here is going to end with the loud beats. And that's good because then you can transition into a different game, which would be good. So we're going to transition to, we'll use this clip right here. If I can get to it. Oh, that's too far. Right about there. So we're going to split, delete the part we don't want. So just like that. And then we'll take this dunk clip real quick. We don't need the pass. The pass isn't important. You can still see that the ball isn't even in his hands yet, so you can kind of tell that it was a pass by Draymond. And you don't need the entire clip. That's what a lot of people don't realize, that they add the entire clip. It's just going to waste too much time. You want a lot of fast cuts. So just like this, I didn't use this full clip right here because it was just too long. It was in slow-mo. I used this clip, basically the entire thing, because it is at normal speed and it was okay to use. This was okay to use. It was faster. And this is just too slow, so we want it to have a fast cut. Then we'll go on to the next replay that we can find. We'll probably use the one where he sees a baddie or something. Or no, we could use this. This is okay. Because you don't want two slow clips. And then the beat is starting to pick back up, so you want to split it right there. Make sure it's in line with this audio right here. This will be good. We could probably just use this, to be honest. We can just perfect, because he got picked up by a baddie, so right here. So we want to make sure that the beat drop is on that. So okay, so now you can see that he's in front of the baddie right there. We'll even do a little zoom in, so we could probably put a marker here just to remind ourselves that we want a zoom in right there. Just to zoom in on pool. Let's cut this just a little bit more because we want it to beat drop. Too long. There we go. Or maybe just a little bit shorter. You want it to be exact. You want to spend as much time on your videos as possible so that it is picture perfect and you make sure that you didn't miss anything and made the video the best you can. So that's probably about good. You don't need the entire clip. It's just them picking him up. Maybe shorten it just a tad bit more to where he points. There we go. And if you can, and if you have the audio long enough, I don't have the audio long enough. I screen recorded for a short amount of time because I kind of wanted to speed run this. You can add an outro because I have an outro that I use for my videos. Let me go down and import it really fast. It's just an 18-second outro for like and subscribe. But the audio is a little bit too short for that. So if it's too short, then don't worry. You can just bring this back down. But you do not want to leave this at this your video at this aspect ratio, because if you're posting it on YouTube Shorts or TikTok, it's a 9:16 ratio. So you want to go to ratio right here and 9:16. And now you're probably wondering, well, now they're all small. Now you just click on the clip and then you can just fill them in, just like so. And I go one by one just to make sure he's centered, because you don't want him to be like over here or something. You want him to be centered the entire time. So that's probably good. So that first clip is good. Second clip, zoom in. You don't want to zoom in any more than 316 or 315 because that is the fill. You can see 316 or 315 right over here. change the scale. I do 316 or 315. Again, make sure he's in the center-ish. But if the clip is over here, then that's okay. If you can't get him in the center, just get him in the center as much as you can. So move it just a tad bit more. Not too much, because then it'd look weird. Just so he's in the center-ish. You don't need to follow the ball. Well, you can, but just not all the way. Just a little bit. And that's okay. So now for this clip, what I like to do with this is, since there's the scoreboard and all that stuff down here, I like to start it out at normal. And as the clip goes on, I like to zoom in and make it just a little bit more hidden. So since this clip is so far away, you'll be able to get more more view, I would say, of the player. But you don't want him to look shaky. So I'm not going to do that for this. I'm just going to do this, follow it to where it goes into the basket, and then put a keyframe there as well. Keyframes are very important because you can follow whatever you need to follow or anything like that. So there we go. That's okay. And this is just the base of the video. Center the hoop because the ball went in, and we don't need to center him because he's basically in the center there, so that's okay. Now this clip, get him in center. If you can't get him in center, that's okay. I'm gonna go all the way to the left and follow him just a little bit. There we go. Go to this clip. And it's just the same thing, so I will come back when I'm done. I've gotten everything here. So now that the clips are all to fit the 9:16 aspect ratio, we want to make the black blur, I guess I would say. Okay, so we don't need this marker anymore because I already zoomed in on it. So let me try to delete this marker. There we go. So what I like to do, you just want to copy and paste. Oh, not cut. We do not want to do that. We copy and paste it above, but the audio, make sure you remember this. The audio, when you have an overlay, is going to be there. So remember to do the same thing as this row and mute that audio so that nothing is there. So, because it would sound like this.
They always ask that innocuous question.
And that's not good. So we want to mute that. And that's okay. What I like to do to make the black blur, make sure this is an overlay. It's the same thing as this, just on a different layer. It's like layered on top. You want to go to the second, and you want to lower the scale just like so. Just like that, because then it's going to look like this. And then what you want to do to make the black, you want to go down to the bottom layer, not the top. You go to blend, and then you go opacity, and I like to go 12 because that's perfect. Just like so. It's going to look just like that. You don't need to do it for all clips. I do it for like every other clip, I would say. So not this one, not that one. Here would be a good one. So copy, paste, and then the first one, you could do the opposite too. You don't have to go from big to small. You can go from small to big. You can zoom out on the first keyframe, go down to the bottom, opacity, 12. Just like that. And if you want to make it quicker, instead of this keyframe, because it takes so long to get from there to there, we can put a keyframe here, and then it will be faster. Just like so. Way faster. And we could do it here because I like to do it with a lot of clips that are like, I wouldn't say small, I would say more zoomed in, because like here, I don't want it to just be right there. I want it to show more. Like that. I want it to show his shoulders as well, not just his face, if that makes sense. So, place a keyframe right there. We'll shrink it down a little bit, put it back to where it was. A lot of people forget to put it back to where it was, because if you just do this and then put the opacity down to 12, it's just going to look like this, and that is not good, because that just looks sloppy and like you didn't even try. So just like that. And it did the same thing because the keyframe is used to being 316, not 227, so just move it back. Just like so. Okay. I won't do this clip. I don't need that clip. I'm gonna do it on this one because I can't get him and the girl in the same spot. I can't, because if I go over him, I can't see the girl. If I go over to the girl, can't see him. So that's also important when you're doing this black blur technique. That's what I call it. So that you can get multiple things in frame at once. So keyframe there, shrink it down. Opacity 12. And another thing that people get confused on is this. Whenever you zoom out, you might have another keyframe, which is going to ruin it, because it's just going to, it was already at 316, but this one is at 234. So it's just going to go right back up. So you want to delete this keyframe and then put it back to where you want it, like right here. So now it shows both. So just like so. It's that simple. Now, one of my favorite parts is the effects. You can add shaking, you can add blurs, you can add flashes, whatever you want. So go to effects. The ones that I like to use strong sharpen. But don't leave it like this. We want to put it at 50 for this one, 50 for the bottom, and then the strength. We don't want it like this because it looks a little too strong. We want to, I do 12 to 13-ish. So it blends really well, just like that. Make it the entire video. And then the other one I do is this one, which adds like a black circle around the thing. Don't do 100 because it's too dark. I blend it into 25. Go for the entire video. I used to do chrome blur, but then again, I didn't really like that. Chrome blur has a little blur on the edges of the video, like this. I used to do 5 and 50, just like this, and you would have a blur on the bottom and top. But I didn't like that, so I got rid of that recently. We need a blur, so we're going to take this blur. It doesn't really matter which one. And the only place you want to put that blur is the ones where you have an overlay. So for this one, you wouldn't put it on the top because then the top's going to be blurred, and you don't want the top to be blurred. You want the bottom one to be blurred. So you put that on the bottom, and you can see that effect has taken the place of that. And you're going to put that on every single one that has an overlay above it, just like so. So now that the effects are done, you could even add, like, on the beat drop, some camera shake. I use camera shake. Some other people like to use just the normal shake. I like camera shake because shake is a little bit too violent. The camera shake is different. Okay, effects are the purple, so we're done. Next, we can do the filters. I used to use a ton of filters, like a lot of saturation, contrast, all that stuff. But that just made it like a weird mixture of colors. So all I use now, I recently changed it to this, is high saturation. You only want to use this one, but not at 100 because it's going to look too dark. You want to blend it into 50, which is going to give it that dark look that blends in with the video and also works well with the effects. Put it as the whole video. And now you can see it's a little bit darker, more kind of better quality, I would say. So now that we have all that stuff in, we can work on the white flashes. A lot of people think it would be in effects, but actually it's in overlays for if you're on mobile, or if you're on desktop, it would be in stock materials. And then you're going to go with the white one, but you don't want to do it randomly. So I'm going to go right. A lot of people do it when something good happens. I do it before, so it fades in. You don't want it to flash, so I will put it right there. The ball is right. Yeah, the ball is right here, and the hoop is right here. We're going to drag this guy right here, and it's going to look weird. Scale it all the way up, and then you're going to go blend mode overlay, just like this, and shorten it down to like 1.2. And then you're going to go to animation. In, you're going to go fade in. And I like to go 0.4. Out, you're going to go fade out. And probably not that much. We can shorten it down a little bit to 0.8, 7.8. So now it's going to look like this. Just like so. And then we can copy it to all the other beat drops, kind of. So you can put it on here. And on this beat drop as well. Maybe just a little bit less. Because on the beat drop, you don't want it to fade in. You want it to already be faded in, but not fading out already. You want it to be perfect. So maybe just a little bit farther. There we go. And you can even make it longer if you wanted to. So I'll do 1.2, which is going to be a longer fade out. It will last longer. Just like so. Now that the white flashes are done, another one of my favorite parts is the overlays or transitions. You do not want to go to transitions. You need your custom ones. I leave them on my channel. Not that. I want to go to YouTube Studio. I leave the overlays that I use on my channel. Go check them out. The updated overlays. So that's what I use. So we're going to import those from my device real quick. Videos. And there they are. Put them down here. And you want to fill them to 316 again because it's a 9:16 aspect ratio. And then mode, you want to brighten. You want the brighten mode on. So now it's not going to, because if you don't do brighten, what's going to happen? Let's just take this one. Actually, no, we don't need that one. Let's take this graffiti one right here. If you don't do brighten, it's going to look like this. Wait. Oh, yeah. You want like this. And you want it to look brightened because it gets rid of all the black behind it. So you'll be able to see your actual video. But don't just place it randomly. There's a little gap in between all your clips. So you're going to put it. I'm going to put my thing right there and then drag this over. Maybe just a little tad bit more. There we go. No, I liked it better. There we go. Just like that. So it's over the transition between both clips. So it'll look like this. Just like that. So I like to add like 1 to 2 glitch ones. My favorite glitch ones are my favorite glitch one is this one personally, because it just looks good. So I don't really want this one. I only want to use one glitch, and then all the other ones are going to be like fire overlays. So just like this. Just like that. So we're going to go all the way back over here to these, which are the fire overlays, which I love to use. They are I would say, my favorite overlays to use. You can call them overlays or transitions. It does not really matter. Just like that. You're going to drag it to whichever clip you want. So I'm going to drag it to the first clip. Just like that. Just like that. It looked a little bit laggy, but that's because I'm recording on this computer as I'm editing it. So it might look a little bit glitchy. There we go. That looked better. You can repeat the same one, just not for every single clip. So I'm going to go grab this one right here, which has fire and graffiti in it. Just like that. It's a little bit of a longer overlay, but hey, that's okay. Let's take it. We can delete all the other ones in the beginning because we don't really need them because they're not the fire ones. So put that right there. Actually, no, let's move it a little bit. What I like to do is I like to add like the shorter ones, like this one, on clips where like it starts right away. Like he's shooting right away as the clip starts. So I'm gonna add the fire one so it doesn't take up the entire screen, just like this big one did right here. So it will look like this. It looks a little bit cleaner, and you can still see what's going on without being distracted by the transitions. So we don't want that glitch one. I personally want... I don't use this one. I wouldn't recommend using it. These ones are really good, though. Even though it says sub now right there, it hides it if you're on YouTube because it has the sound right there. It has the name, the channel name, and then the sound below, and then your sound icon right there. So it's going to be hiding it. You don't have to worry about that. I used to be worried about that, but then realized that later on. So we'll drag this above the white flash. There we go. Just like that. And since this video is a little bit shorter, it's only like 30 seconds or so, we can repeat the same overlays. So we can take this glitch one, and we could just put it, we'll put it, where should I put it? We'll put it with this one. Just because, why not? So they kind of blend together if you have two over each other, and it looks really nice. Instead of just boring one overlay, you can combine them. Just like so. Okay, so now that we have our filters, effects, clips, overlays, and audio, well, transitions, white flashes, all that stuff, we can work on some audio. A very important thing that I would definitely recommend is getting a narrator voice. It's an app that you can get on mobile. I just transferred it from my phone to my computer. It's called Narrator's Voice. I'll leave it in the description below. It's very good because you can just put whatever voice you want, and then whatever you want it to say. And I did it just like GD does. I'm not copying. A lot of people say I copy him. I just like the name MDFactoryClips. So there it is right here. It will look like this. This is from my phone. That's why it's in a folder. These are all stuff I recorded on my computer. So we're going to import that. It's 2 seconds long. I normally like to put it right before the beat drops. We could put it like, I would say, we'll put it in this transition right here. You don't want it max volume because the voices are very loud. This is what it will sound like if it's max. So you kind of want to lower it just a little bit. I'm going to move it actually back here. I prefer it to be back here. So lower the volume just a little bit. Don't do it too quiet either. I like to add these because in case I've seen situations where people steal someone's audio and don't give the other person credit for it. If you use this, it will have your channel name in there. So if anyone does try to steal it, people will know that it was originally your audio. So that's a nice little strategy I learned using this. Just like so. You could do it right before the beat drop. I think I'm actually going to do that real quick. I'll just put it right there. It's a little bit too loud. The music's a little bit too loud, so I'm actually going to just keep it there. So now that that is there, so you don't have to worry about anyone stealing your audio, swishes and all that stuff, or you could extract the audio from the actual broadcast, which is what I like to do if I can't find a specific swish sound I want. So you just right click or do whatever you can on mobile on the clip you want and extract audio. But you do not want it that loud because it kind of takes over the background music, so you're going to lower it just a little bit. I would do like -3 or -4. -3, -4, -5. I'm going to go -5 on this. And it can go into other clips as long as it finishes the sentence. So just like so. And make sure it's faded because it's going to sound really weird if it just cuts out randomly like this. I did fade it. I normally do for all my stuff, fade in 1 second, sorry. And fade out for this one, I'm gonna do 1.6, so it will fade out the audio. Just like so. Now, for crowd sound effects, a lot of people wonder where I get it from. It was just a normal YouTube video from a soccer stadium when someone scored a goal. So let me import it real quick. And this is what it originally sounds like. I normally go to about here. And I take the rest of it, split that and get rid of it. It is 7.3 seconds long. I'll fade in for 1.3. For the crowd sound effect I use, I fade it out immediately, so it will have a long lasting fade out. We're going to put that here, but it's really loud, so we're going to lower down the volume about there. Maybe even lower. There we go. Like it a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Do not do 20 decibels because that is way too loud for audio like that. Just like that, and then we can raise this audio because it's starting to get bass boosted. And if it like exits the video, you can just put it here, and then what I like to do is just not fade it out. Just like that. So with all the audio and all that stuff done, actually I might add a few swishes. I'll go do that right now. I'll be right back. If you guys want me to release my audios as well, like I did with my overlays, be sure to leave a like, and maybe I will. Who knows? So with this, it's like kind of like a bank shot kind of sound. Here it is. There it is. So we want to go to where the ball first hits the rim. We want to be exact on this because the audio is going to sound weird otherwise. So right there, I would say. Put the little spike where the ball hits in the audio onto the place that you're selected. Right there. Just like that. Now this is being weird. Now it's going to sound like this. You can lower down the audio just a little bit more. For some reason, the audios that I downloaded did not fade out, so that's why most of my audios are faded out. So I'm going to do 1 second on this. I don't need to fade this in because it already is.
MDFactoryClips.
Just like that. Okay, we are finally at one of the last few steps that we need. We're going to do text because some people love to steal people's work and not compliment them for it. So that's why I add watermarks. What I do, I'm going to put it underneath this transition right here so that the transition will overlap it. And you can put your name or whatever you want. I like to put my name. Just like that. I go system font. A lot of people ask me what font I use. It's system. For size, I go 7. And then you go down a little bit more to blend, and the opacity, I do 50. Just like that. And then in the beginning, we're going to use some keyframes here for the positioning. In the beginning, we're going to put it back over here to the side. And all the way at the end, we're also going to put it to the right side. So it's going to go across the screen so that no one will be able to steal your work and not compliment you for it because they'll know it's you because of this. Just like that. and you want to copy and paste it throughout the whole video. Don't put it back to back because it's going to look like it's just repeating. You want to give it some space in between, so like this. We can put this, we'll put this right here, making sure that the overlays all overlap this. Not the white though. The white for some reason brightens the text up. And like here, it's brightening up the text. We don't want that. So what I like to do, I don't have any room to put this underneath. So what do? I'm going to split this. It's not going to change its positioning because it's still in the keyframe. We want to move it up over the white. Not over the other overlays, just over the white. Just like this, and it will stay still the same. Just like that. Next set of text, there we go. You don't have to watch every single one if you know what you're doing. Just like that. I'm just kind of speed running through it because I've done this many times before. Put this one above the white. Do this. Don't let the text just do this. You want to go to the end of the video, split. And if you don't fix this, it will end too early. Just like that. And you don't want it to end too early. And there's something over here. There we go. It's too early to end. So you're just going to go out and then bring it right back in. The keyframe will not go away. And it will stay even when the video ends. So that is pretty much it. And here's the whole video, guys.